We're gonna try to keep it quick. First of all, I'm gonna turn on the music. That would be good. Doop doop doop. So yeah, we're gonna talk about a few things. First of all, I want to talk about I'm thinking of ending things, which I talked about yesterday, which was the first movie I saw in my list of 28 movies I'm gonna watch throughout the month. Point is, I wasn't wrong about the film. Of course I was wrong about the film, because everybody is wrong about the film the first time they watch it. I have proof of that, and not only that, but it is purposeful. It is literally purposeful from the filmmakers and the marketing department that when you watch that movie the first time, you do not get it. Like, it's made so that you do not get it the first time. Again, I have proof, and I ended up watching Another Round. So that's the movie I watched for yesterday. So again, one movie per day, Another Round, which was on the list. It was lower, which is about, if we're being real, it's about alcoholism and alcohol intake and moderation and all that. It's supposed to be a dark comedy, but I'm telling you right now, I did not laugh once. It wasn't that dramatic either. So yeah, I'll tell you all about it. It's the Danish film with Mads Mikkelsen. It's nominated for Best Foreign Film. Yeah, so we'll talk about that. And also, because we're going to talk about alcoholism, I gotta go serious. And look, I hate going serious. I've said this before. I'll say it again. I do not want to make this personal freaking issues streams. You know what I mean? I don't like that kind of stuff. And looking at this list, I just happened to watch the first two that have affected me in a point where I have to talk about these topics that are extremely personal. And looking at the list, it's not going to happen again. It's just not going to happen again. Like, it might, but like, looking at the list now, I literally went through all of them in my mind, and I'm like, these are not gonna awaken something in me that I have to talk about that is personal. So I promise from now on, it won't happen again, but it will happen tonight about alcoholism. Very important. Let's just say, it's been a part of my life, and I gotta explore it. In the same way that I will explore the film. And finally, the main event, which I'm excited to show you, is a Dead Space interview I edited this last night for the Easy Allies community showcase. Easy Allies is a YouTube group of gamers, but so yeah, and I love those guys, and I made a 3-minute edit of another video from somebody else, so it's not mine, of course, but still, I made it, so I want to show it to you guys at the end. So without further ado, by the way, this YouTube library, I believe we gotta skip by hand. No, we don't. Thank God. It's like they fixed it. Because of my complaints or something. This is The Longing. I've been playing this for more than 2 weeks now. Seriously, nothing has happened. I met a spider, made a friend with a spider, and it's building its web. We haven't been back, so... But, point is, this game takes forever. But I only play it on streams, so if something's gonna happen, it'll happen at some point. I forgot to turn on chat, by the way. Speaking of which, in chat, I always make the mistake of not saying to, you know, if you got any questions, anything at all, you want me to talk about anything, I can talk about anything. And the proof of that is Wonder Woman 84. That was on my first Longing stream, and I talked about it because the person in the audience asked me about it. You can ask me about anything. If I haven't seen it, I'll tell you my thoughts, having not seen it. And if I have, I can share my thoughts having seen it. So, any questions? Feel free. I guess that works. But so yeah, we'll check periodically. So yeah, I'm thinking of ending things. Watched it the first time, I made my thoughts clear. I gave it a 6 out of 10, and I had a choice to make. I either could rewatch the film, not now, but later on in the month or later on in the year, or I could just watch YouTube videos that explain the whole thing again from their perspective of the YouTube creator. You know what I mean? Their opinion on what it is. And I chose to do the YouTube videos because, again, I gave it a 6 and did not enjoy watching the film. That is very important. That is why I give it a 6. And if I'm being honest, I did not give it my full attention. I had to do it in 2 chunks. That's it. Let me just say that. And but the aspects I appreciated from it, I appreciated more having seen those YouTube videos. Hence, I bumped it up to a 7. Not because of the explanation, even though it's clear and obvious. And once you know what the movie's about, it's like, oh, you know, and it does make sense. And yes, there is a revelation that changes everything. But it just made me appreciate the stuff I appreciated in the first place so much more. Especially the splice editing. The editing is extremely, like, hard cuts, you know? And very, you just gotta keep up with it. And the horror aspects. The horror aspects I loved. And because I was so concentrated on trying to follow the story and figure things out, and Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. That yes, I did appreciate them, but not as much as I should have, which is crazy because I loved them so much. Those crazy horror bits. So yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, I wanted to show you this. It's pretty funny. My roommate made fun of me for this. This is my food for tonight. Look at this giant ass plate of of pasta. It's just 2 types of pasta with rosé sauce and cheese, but still gigantic portion. She said like it's for a family of 6, and yeah, I found that pretty funny. But moving on. So yeah, I'm thinking of ending things. Here's the proof. Here it is. Without further ado, okay? Boom. This poster, okay? Not only this poster. Look, you write I'm thinking of ending things on YouTube. This is what you get. Look at the thumbnail. It is literally all the same. Even the ones that aren't the same, which aren't this image, are her, okay? Here's the thing. And this is not a spoiler. And to be honest, I wish I knew this. I wish I knew this going in, because it would actually help me appreciate it and understand it the first time. But this poster is a lie, okay? It is a lie in 2 ways. I will spoil one of them, because I really do believe this would help you if you were to watch it the first time. I wish I knew this. I really do. But I get why they chose not to lie to us with this poster. And by the way, on Netflix, it's the same thing. It's the same image, right? There's no way you watch this film without this being your reference. So, the thing, again, spoilers if you really don't want to know, but trust me, you do want to know. It's her, okay? The movie is not about her. Period. That's it, okay? And that's how I watched it. I watched it from her perspective, and I was like listening to her story and her plight. And it's literally not about her. I cannot make that clear enough. And so the fact that she's here is smart misdirection, but it's purposeful. And again, she is the marketing. She is what is represented in all these images. And I'm telling you right now, even the creators that chose to use that image knew what they were doing, okay? It's not about her. And the second thing that I won't spoil and I won't even say, okay, that's extremely wrong about this poster and it's a complete lie, is obvious, okay? And it's not the chandelier, it's not the wallpaper, and it's not the wine in her hand, and it's not the food. It's the other thing. I won't say what it is, but it is clearly another misdirection. It's another lie. Once you know what it is, that would spoil it big time. But yeah, so that's why you do not understand it the first time. And further proof of that is that I watched 2 videos to have it explained. I watched the one from your movie sucks, right? YMS. I'm pretty sure, yeah, YMS. I love this creator. I've already subscribed to him, but he's like he loves artsy films. He likes slow films. He likes like confusing films, black and white. He like eats it up. I usually don't, watch the types of films he would watch because he goes out of his way to watch like the artsiest of the artsy, right? So he gave this film a 10, which blew me away. I couldn't believe he did that. But anyway, I highly respect him. And beautiful explanation. 25 minutes, got it all, extremely happy, left. And also Think Story, another YouTuber I respect. He usually does spoilers for TV. So, like, Riverdale, right? Like, he will tell you what happened at the end of the... So, usually I watch his videos for spoilers on TV shows I will never watch. So then I get the whole story. I get to enjoy it, I guess, and move on. So yeah, I watched both of these to get the full story. And I got it. It's perfect. But here's the proof. Here's the proof that it's purposeful that you do not understand this film the first time. It is made that way. First of all, YMS is the de facto Charlie Kaufman fan. He's like, that's his guy. In the same way animation is my guy, or Christopher Nolan or Quentin Tarantino is somebody's favorite, Charlie Kaufman is his favorite thing. Like his favorite writer, director. So him giving this movie a 10 and loving it so much is understandable. But here's the thing. Even though he's the biggest fan of Charlie Kaufman I know, he himself did not understand this movie on the first watch. Here it is, line by line, verbatim. This is what he said, word for word. I wrote it down. It's just a film that doesn't really hold your hand as you watch it. At the end of my first watch, I can understand ideas that the film was going for, but I didn't really know what was going on. I did not know what was going on his first watch. And this guy knows, like, he's pro filmmaking, pro Charlie Kaufman, right? After seeing the film 3 times now, I'm pretty confident that I have the mass majority of the film figured out. And he's right. And again, it's all because of this poster. It's all because of the marketing. That's why nobody, and I mean nobody, fully understands the film on their first watch, no matter who you are. It's crazy. But so yeah, I will never watch it again. Bumped it up to a 7, and I'm happy I got closure. That's one of the comments you see on all these videos about the explained, is they tell you, like, thank you for giving me closure. This film left me confused, you know? Anyway, so that's it. That's the last I'll talk about. I'm thinking of ending things. But yeah, again, I do not recommend it, period. Watch his other films first, because they're so much more fun, accessible, even though they're as heady. So it's the best of both worlds. Accessibility and fun, and extremely smart and thoughtful. So Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind, Being John Malkovich, Adaptation, and Anomalisa. All 4 of those are like, watch those first. Again, you don't have to, but I highly recommend it. Finally, we're going to talk about another round, and we're going to get serious here. Okay, I gave it a 7. A hard 7, which means it was good, but I will never watch it again. Now, the story is simple. It's the premise is the film, so much so that's why I'm disappointed. Okay, so it's 4 high school teachers who are bored with life or unhappy with, just in general, like their mood. They're unhappy, and they start to drink every day to be at 0.05%, because they read like some paper that says that. And it's funny because I actually believed in that a little bit for a while. And I won't talk about the movie much because it's about a bigger topic. Thing is, the reason I gave it a 7 is because it's obvious. What happens, what you think is going to happen, is exactly what happens. Like, there's nothing unexpected, there's nothing that will surprise you, and you're just going through the motions. And it's 2 hours. Danish film, subtitles. By the way, nice language to listen to because it's very unique. And Mads Mikkelsen, incredible performance. Like, he deserves whatever praise he's gonna get, especially because it's four high school teachers, and all 4. To be honest, I wish they cut 1 out of them, because if you cut 1 out, you would have more time for the other 3. Instead, all 4 get like their own little drinking on the job story, and they suffer for it as a whole. But Mads Mikkelsen destroys them all in terms of acting. It's not even funny, the difference between Mads Mikkelsen and the other Danish actors. I recommend the film only if the premise interests you. If you want to see Mads Mikkelsen drinking in high school, he has a history class teaching history while he's drunk, then maybe watch it. But otherwise, it's not a dark comedy. I did not laugh. There are scenes where you're supposed to laugh, but it's boomer comedy. Like, these guys are in their 40s, so there's a lot of scenes of them getting drunk in a bar or, you know, having fun while they're drunk. But it's like watching a bunch of 40-year-olds trying to be kids again. It's kind of weird. And I hate using the word boomer, but in this case it fits perfectly. It literally is a sad boomers getting drunk and being happy because of that. And then where that leads, right? And I want to talk about alcoholism, right? Because we're in quarantine. Everybody's been drinking, me included. But I've always prided myself. First of all, I haven't drank 8 years before this. Okay, I've been in this city, Montreal, Canada, for a year. And before that, I was 8 years in a reserve, because I'm half white, half native. Again, we're getting personal here, we're getting serious. And like I promised, I'll never get serious again, because it just so happens that the 2 first films I watch are personal to me. And since I've been here for a year, I've been drinking, let's say a lot. Not recently, but just in general. Because every time I would go see a movie, especially animated ones, like, I'm not gonna go see another round is an exception. Actually, I did have another round while watching another round. It's a bad example, but I'm thinking of ending things, right? If it was in theaters, I wouldn't drink for that film. It's ridiculous. But you better believe that SpongeBob, you know what I mean? SpongeBob, animation in general, I am drinking. And it literally is, like in the film, the concept of 0.0.5. It's drinking enough so that, first of all, nobody notices. Second of all, you have a buzz, but it's light. It's very light. It doesn't affect everything else. It doesn't affect my viewing pleasure. And by the way, it's not the only thing I do. Like, the other thing I do is obvious. If I say it, I don't know how, like, Twitch is bad against that stuff, right? But it starts with W, ends with D, has 2 letters in between. So I do both of those, right? For, again, animation or garbage action films. In moderation, to the point where I nailed it. Like, it's happened once or twice in 5 years where I did not feel good and I had to leave. But usually in that theater, I'm the one having the best time because I'm in that state, if you will. And I pride myself on, first of all, never being hangover, ever, and never puking or never falling, or, you know what I mean? I've never been actually drunk, even though through quarantine I drank a lot, and I mean a lot. What I used to buy was these 5.75 liters bottles of vodka, and I do mean a lot. And I would mix those with water, and even though I drank a lot, again, never hangover, never wasted, never, you know, I live with my sister, and trust me, like, if I was a bad drinker, she would know, and I would know. So I pride myself on that, but that doesn't mean it's okay, so I slowed down on my drinking like a month ago. I made that for myself, because the movie woke me up to is the culture of drinking. I live in Quebec, Canada, so we're in a province in Canada, and Quebec is French. Most of Canada is English, but Quebec itself is a French province. I myself, French is my first language. I'm just perfectly bilingual. And it's part of the culture here, okay? Not only is it part of our culture, but I learned recently that, from the film, I learned that it's part of Danish culture, Denmark, right? It's part of Denmark's culture, because in the film they actually talk about it. Like, you know, we drink, that's what we do. Like, there's a line like this in the film talking about the country as a whole, okay? I know for a fact that Japan is big time drinking culture, where they work hard all day, and they party hard at night. Again, it's part of the culture. It is normal. That's what you do. You work with your colleagues. You drink with your colleagues. I know this because of the Dad and Sons podcast. One of the guys lives in Japan. He told me so. And same thing with England. England, same thing. English people, there it's kind of funny because, like, it's well known that English weather sucks. It's like one of the worst weathers on the planet. So I'm pretty sure that affects things. Like, it affects everybody's mood because it's always raining and it always looks like crap. So might as well drink, right? So drinking culture there is extremely strong as well. So that's 4 in the US, but that's, you know, it's not like obvious like those 4. So that's just 4, and that's that I know of. So drinking culture is a huge problem, and that's what this movie shows. Like, what if we chose to go all in on drinking culture, and we think we can control it, right? But nobody can. In the same way, I can't, you know? Yes, I've never been drunk, I've never been hangover, and I've never been puking, right? But I have been drinking consistently for days to the point where my body took some damage, right? So this is no joke. And so while I respect that movie to explore that, it's kind of obvious in the way it does. And finally I wanted to end on what was my main take? Oh yeah, the craziest scene in the film. Another round. Oh, there's lyrics on this one. Kind of worries me here. I'm gonna go back. Oops, that's dance. Let's go back here. I know we played these earlier, but man, again, I talk too long about these things. The best scene in Another Round is a compilation of politicians and people of power, and people in parliament around the world being drunk visibly. You cannot mistake it. That's the thing with drunks and alcoholism, is that you cannot hide that, right? I could hide it, again, because of moderation, but past a certain point, no matter how much you think you're not showing it, you are showing it. And so they have this compilation of people in parliament and people making speeches in front of thousands of people. Bill Clinton being the most well-known one. But of course they had the Prime Minister of Denmark, they had French Prime Ministers, crazy, people of power. Visibly drunk on camera. And that scene comes out of nowhere too. It's like a statement. It's like a statement piece within the film. Look at all these politicians getting drunk, it's crazy. So again, the movie is obvious, but I had to talk about drinking because it has been a part of my life. It is still a part of my life, just a little bit. But and I just want to point out, I'm not saying drinking is bad. Quite the opposite. Drinking with purpose is good. And that's the thing, right? Every time I drank, I gave myself the excuse in the same way they did, that we're going to be better teachers, we're going to be more fun. Me, it's whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to enjoy it more. It's the same reason I take my other thing, which, by the way, I'm pro WEE, I'm pro that big time. That I can do non-stop and have no problems, except for probably long-term lung damage, but let's not. Oh man, but what was my point? Yeah, I did it to enjoy the things I did more. But what would happen was that I would simply not do those things. I would plan out, okay, so I'm gonna take like, you know, a glass of vodka, and then I'm gonna watch whatever cartoon or wrestling show I want to watch, right? And I would end up not doing those things. I would like procrastinate and do something else. So only when I go to the cinema and I have it all planned out, where that always works. It's fantastic. Horror films, man. Anyway, that's it. I'm done. That's the only time I'll talk about alcoholism, but I'm actually quite happy we did, because I did the whole topic. I did my personal aspects, I did the movies aspects, and the culture of it, right? And then that's it. Never again. Do it in moderation. Moderation is key. Period. And that's it. We're done. So again, I apologize. Will never happen again. If it does. And by the way, I wanted to use my perfect example of this is Splish Splash. Is Moonlight. Moonlight won Best Picture two years ago. Okay, at the Oscars. I saw Moonlight. I forced my friends to go see Moonlight in the cinema because of how high scored it was, and I did not know what it was about. Now everybody knows what it's about, and what it's not about. And it's not about gays in the ghetto. What it's about is a man in the ghetto who happens to be gay. That is the difference. That is where execution comes in. So in the same way this movie's about 4 teachers becoming alcoholic, it's not subtle. Like, that's what it is. So that's why I gave it a 7. And that's why I don't really recommend it unless you love Mads Mikkelsen. It's because that's it. Like, that there's no subtext, there's nothing. In the same way Moonlight was way deeper than Gays in the Ghetto. It was, yeah, it's all about execution. That's why all these films are here, is to execute better than everybody else. Hence why they're so highly scored in their respective fields, you know? That's it. And finally, I believe, yeah, we're done. I got a cool video here to show you guys. So it's a video from Ars Technica. Okay, Ars Technica made these series called War Stories, which are all about video game creators talking about their best creations and break it down. And you have one about Dead Space, 7 million views. That's crazy. 20 minutes. I broke it down into 3 minutes, and I also have a special ending. And I only did this for the Easy Allies Community Showcase, in which you can put a video 3 minutes long. So I had to edit it down to 3 minutes. And in itself is a edited down version of a 1 hour and 10 minute interview with this guy. So it's kind of rough, especially the editing, but still I'm proud of it. I'll show it to you here. It's unlisted, so the 5 views are me and maybe one other person. So here you go. That's a world premiere. I edited it, but of course it is not my content. It helps to be a fan of Dead Space. I won't talk because, yeah, here we go.
Hi, I'm Glenn Schofield, creator and director of Dead Space. I set out to make the scariest game of all time. Along the way, I had to break some rules, make some new ones. One of the things I would say to the team is we're going to make Resident Evil in space. And you got it right away. Resident Evil 4 is one of my top 5 games of all time. And I just like the mood. The mood was oppressive sometimes. It was dreadful, but it was, I don't know, I just got caught up in it. I was always worried about what was around the corner, but I always wanted to see what was around the corner, too. I wanted to be in the world. And everything is going to run through the filter of innovation, meaning everything that we do in the game should be innovated on, whether it's the HUD or the things that we called out or not. Even just his look is something you've never seen before. But right from the start, we said sound design and the music and the audio are key. There are no cutscenes in the game. So we're trying to tell the story through video logs, but also what Isaac does. Having an overarching desire to make something great and to have quality be your number one thing is the biggest lesson. You may say, oh, well, you should always be that way. And it's like, yes, but there are times when you have budget cuts or you have changes, you don't have the right people, and you have to let down your guard a little bit. We shipped the game 2 weeks early because we had gotten all our bugs. We had gotten all the way down to C bugs. The game came out, and then we won. I'll never forget, the biggest one was sitting at the DICE Awards, which is the big one for us. And when they called our name, I'll never forget this, the feeling of validation kind of just said, it's okay to go make another one now. A real highlight of my career has been, making Dead Space and then what it's brought since. I've been playing more of the types of games that I'm making right now. That doesn't mean I haven't been writing. I still write horror stuff, and I've got quite a few stories, and I enjoyed making Dead Space so much that, you know, hopefully someday I'll make one of those games again.
3 years later.
Our goal is to make the single most scariest game, and we're so excited to be able to show it here tonight.
This was the Game Awards this year.
There is nothing
New game. From the same creator of Dead Space. Because he was given the chance. And just, you can see the love, right, coming off that man. Just talking about, like, Dead Space and how proud of it he is. So there's no doubt that this game, he really is, in his mind, trying to create the scariest game ever made. Anyway, I just loved that interview, so I wanted to do that together. Plus, I knew I could do it quick, so I did it in like a few hours. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And I did want to talk about one last thing, and it slipped my mind right now. Oh yeah, I put up yesterday's video on YouTube, and they blocked it, man. It's the first time it's happened to me. Very frustrating. And because of the WWE stuff, the entrances, and it sucks too, because I'm very proud of having showcased that. Even without sound, man, they took it away from me, to the point where my video was unviewable. I've dealt with copyright claims before, but not copyright like blockage, where literally my video is like it doesn't exist. So I have to edit that tonight, but it won't stop me from watching a film. And another thing that's frustrating to me was The Expanse. I wanted to catch up, but a lot of things came up, including these films, and I couldn't catch up, and it's over. Like, season 5 just finished. I watched episode 1, blown away. Like, The Expanse is still the best sci-fi show on TV right now, period. It's not even close. And highly recommend to anybody who loves sci-fi. And right now, it's the second best science fiction show of all time after Battlestar Galactica. And again, when you think in the grand scheme of things, right? Star Trek, Babylon 5, any science fiction show that you know exists, it's better than that, and it's not even... It's barely debatable. Of course, everything is debatable. But man, The Expanse is something special. So I'll continue that tonight, as well as watching another film and editing out that little block part. So I'll see you again tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to watch tonight. Yesterday, because I was drinking, I'm like, I might as well watch a movie about drinking. But tonight could be anything, because I'm in a pretty normal state. So yeah, we'll see. So until next time, as always, we continue on. We will finish 28 movies, if not more. Of course, more, actually. So until next time, love you guys. Love and respect. No more personal stuff from now on, hopefully. Peace.